When the internet exploded with a storm of speculation, intrigue, and countless headlines surrounding Princess Isabella of Denmark, few expected that the Danish royal household, known for its stoic traditions and ironclad silence, would respond so directly, so emotionally, and with such a powerful show of unity. Yet, in a rare and compelling turn of events, Queen Mary and King Frederik have broken their silence. And what they revealed has left an entire nation reeling, and the world watching. It all began when a set of viral images and videos catapulted Princess Isabella into the global spotlight. Overnight, the poised and elegant young royal became the center of swirling rumors, deeply personal scrutiny, and a firestorm of media attention. The content, though largely speculative, was shared and reshared at lightning speed, and soon enough, public perception started to fracture. Was the Danish monarchy losing control of the narrative? Was Isabella's image at risk? And what did all this mean for the future of the Danish crown? Inside the polished walls of Amalienborg Palace, the whispers had turned into roars. For Queen Mary and King Frederik, this wasn't just about public relations, it was about their daughter. A daughter they had raised under the brightest of royal spotlights, in a nation that holds its monarchy not just as a ceremonial institution, but as a symbol of national identity and cultural continuity. And now, that daughter was being dragged into conversations far beyond her control. Yet, true to their roles not just as sovereigns, but as parents, Queen Mary and King Frederik took their time. Rather than issuing a hasty statement or simply ignoring the media frenzy, they paused. They observed. They consulted. They supported their daughter behind the scenes, carefully shielding her from the harshest winds of the storm. And then, with regal clarity and carefully chosen words, they stepped forward. What they said wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a masterclass in grace, authority, and parental protection. Queen Mary, whose transformation from a Tasmanian-born commoner to one of Europe's most admired royal figures has long been a tale of resilience, spoke with visible emotion. She acknowledged the intensity of public interest but reminded the world that her daughter, though royal by birth, is still a teenager navigating her own identity in a world that often forgets the humanity behind the crown. King Frederik, now the reigning monarch, stood beside her with unwavering calm. His voice, measured but resolute, emphasized the family's unity. He made it clear that while the royal family embraces its public responsibilities, there are boundaries that should never be crossed, especially when it involves a young member of the family. His words weren't just statements, they were shields, firmly planted to protect Isabella from an onslaught that no young person should endure. The impact of their statements rippled across Danish society. Support poured in from unexpected corners. Journalists issued retractions and clarifications, celebrities spoke out in solidarity, and the public discourse shifted noticeably. For the first time in weeks, Isabella's name was no longer being used as clickbait, but rather as a symbol of strength and vulnerability in equal measure. But beyond the emotional core of the statement lay a subtle, strategic brilliance. Queen Mary and King Frederik didn't just defend their daughter, they reinforced the values of the Danish monarchy itself. They reminded the nation, and the world, that royalty is not an escape from scrutiny, but it also shouldn't be an invitation for cruelty. In doing so, they redefined what it means to rule with empathy and strength in the modern era. Palace insiders revealed that the decision to speak out was not taken lightly. Behind the closed doors of the royal residence, intense discussions were held. Advisors from the royal court, legal teams, and even representatives from Denmark's public broadcasting services were consulted. The family was aware that any misstep could deepen the controversy, but their priority remained steadfast: to protect Isabella's dignity and affirm their family bond. Those close to Princess Isabella shared that she was deeply touched by the overwhelming support that followed. Though she has remained largely out of the public eye since the incident, it is believed that she's been continuing her education and extracurricular engagements quietly, with her family's full backing. Friends of the princess describe her as thoughtful, resilient, and remarkably grounded for her age, qualities that clearly reflect the parenting she's received. International reactions also came swiftly. European royals, including Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden and Princess Elizabeth of Belgium, reportedly reached out privately to express support. The gesture was more than symbolic, it was a reminder that royal families, despite their unique status, share the same protective instincts when it comes to their children. As the days unfolded, the Queen and King's words began to reshape the public narrative. Major Danish newspapers that once ran speculative headlines began shifting tone, publishing op-eds about responsible journalism and the dangers of online rumor mongering. Social media platforms that had been hotbeds for misinformation saw a wave of users defending Isabella's right to privacy and decency. This powerful public shift did not go unnoticed by royal watchers. Analysts began praising Queen Mary's handling of the crisis as quietly revolutionary, drawing comparisons to other modern royal matriarchs who've redefined their roles in an increasingly digital age. King Frederik, meanwhile, was lauded for demonstrating a softer side of leadership, where protection of family stands equal to matters of state. But perhaps the most poignant outcome of this entire saga is the transformation of public empathy. What started as scandal turned into solidarity. What began with invasive curiosity ended with a collective pause and reflection. And at the heart of it all stood a family who reminded the world that royalty, while public in function, is private in feeling. Even now, as the media cycle moves forward and new stories arise, the lessons of the Isabella controversy remain etched in the minds of many. It served as a powerful reminder of the fine line between interest and intrusion, between news and noise. And more importantly, it underscored the human truth that even those born into palaces can be hurt by careless words and careless clicks. For Queen Mary and King Frederik, the road ahead is still filled with public duties, state responsibilities, and global diplomacy. But through this storm, they've emerged not just as monarchs, but as a mother and father who dared to speak from the heart. Their courage in confronting the swirling rumors with dignity and love may well redefine their legacy, not just as rulers of Denmark, but as protectors of their children. As for Princess Isabella, her journey is just beginning. And now, with the unwavering support of her family and the resounding empathy of a nation, she walks forward not as a victim of controversy, but as a young woman who has already weathered a storm and stood tall in its wake. So, what does the future hold for Princess Isabella? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. With Queen Mary and King Frederik by her side, her story is one the world will continue to follow, not because of scandal, but because of strength. What are your thoughts on Queen Mary and King Frederik's bold defense of Princess Isabella? Do you think the royal family's modern approach to public criticism is reshaping the monarchy in Denmark and beyond? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful royal updates straight from inside the palace gates.